This year marks the 8th annual Phoenixville Firebird Festival. With an estimated attendance of over 6,000 people, Bridge Street was packed shoulder to shoulder. The festival started around 4 p.m. with a craft bazaar of local artists down by the Firebird site. There were various performances taking place along Bridge Street. Steel City Coffee House hosted Tres Compadres, a modern flamenco ensemble. The Phoenix Village Art Center hosted Luna Muse tribal belly dancers. Diving Cat Studio, Phoenixville Karate Center, and the Colonial Theater also hosted a variety of artists. The Playing Mantis Fire Dancers performed to the music provided by Stellar Scope and Spirit Wing on the main stage. The Morris Dancers helped lead the parade of drummers, dancers, giant puppets, and the torch. The lighting of the Firebird kicked off right around 8 p.m. As the fire arose to the top of the bird, the crowd cheered on. The Phoenix holds an exalted place in the myths of many of the great world cultures. The Egyptians called it the Bennu and depicted it as a heron with brilliant plumage and a feathered crest on its head. The Greeks called it by the name we use today, Phoenix, which means red, the color most associated with fire and with the sun, and described it as resembling something between an eagle and a peacock. Both the Egyptians and the Greeks believed that this fabulous bird lived in Heliopolis, the city of the sun, and that at the end of its very long life, 500 to 1500 years, it builds its own pyre from incense and precious woods and is consumed in sacred fire. Out of the ashes springs the new phoenix, thus symbolizing resurrection and renewal. In 1813, Louis Wernwag, the owner of the first iron company built on the confluence of the French Creek and the Schuylkill River, known at the time as the French Creek Works, was looking at his furnaces one evening from a nearby hillside and saw a phoenix in the flames. This vision inspired him to rename his company Phoenix Works. When the community that grew up around the iron works became incorporated in 1849, the name Phoenixville was a natural choice for the new borough. This name has a special symbolic relevance for the borough today. With the closing of Phoenix Iron and Steel in the early 1980s, the town lost its principal industry and subsequently went through a 20-year period of stagnation and decline. Since the turn of the new century, Phoenixville has been enjoying a rebirth. With the opening of new shops and restaurants, a visitor center in the old Foundry building, the continued renovation of the Colonial Theater, the renewal of Bridge Street, and much more. Like its mythic namesake, it is truly rising from its own ashes. If you missed this year's Firebird, next year will be even bigger.